Hey guys, it's me again, Britta. So it's been a while and I'm already in a new place. I've actually moved out of South Bank like 2 months ago. So I'm staying in a room. So I have another flatmate, so we're actually splitting the bills. I'll have another video on my expenses here so far in Australia as well. Okay, so today we'll be talking about how my job hunting journey here so far. So we'll be tackling on how is the job market here in Australia. How did I get my job as an IT professional here in Australia? So if you find these interesting, do stick around and then we're going to break down those questions. And then if you guys haven't subscribed to my channel, please do subscribe to my channel as well. So I'd really love to have you. First thing first is how is the job market here in Australia? So it's quite competitive. So there are a lot of jobs, to be honest. Like I've signed up to a lot of job sites and I've been receiving like emails every single day. Like there's just so much jobs out there in IT industry. However, competition is really high. It's really tough. What I mean with that is that I've tried applying on a specific job listing, and then I receive an email that that role has already closed or that it has expired. And once it expires, I actually receive like, sorry, this role has been is no longer available. And then it actually has like a number of applicants, and surprisingly, we're not talking about hundreds here, we're talking about thousands, more than 1,000 applicants. So I was so shocked with that, and I really think that role is just looking at just one or two persons join the team. So this is what I meant with the competition is really high. So there are a few factors though, because I came here around January, and around that time market has been a little slow. So there are not a lot of job openings at that time, and I've seen recruiters like they just came back, and that companies are just adjusting their plans. And some of them I've also received like, oh, we've decided to postpone this job opening. So there's really a lot of factors on why there are few job listings earlier this year. But however, I've noticed it like around March is starting to gain traction. There are more and more job listings available. I've been getting a lot of calls, interviews and all. So yeah, just to be real, some job listings there has like over like 1,000 applicants, and some has like 200, 300. It really varies. So if you guys have watched my previous video, I've actually shared that I'm a developer, and I think it's pretty saturated, but I don't think you should be disheartened with it, especially if you are actually holding permanent resident visa, because I think majority of the companies, they will really ask whether what's your visa status or whether you require sponsorship. So just being a permanent resident or like a citizen here makes you ahead of everyone. So a recruiter once told me that a fraction of them is actually those that are on temporary visa that are looking for sponsorship, and some of them are like offshores and hoping to be able to get a sponsorship as well. And some of that are those that are holding permanent residency but haven't relocated here. And to be honest, I was one of them last year, and yeah, for some reason we will tackle it later. And then, of course, fresh grads or newly graduates here in Australia. So that's why there's a lot of applicants. And I have seen a lot of IT professionals that are really having trouble getting a good job here in Australia. And I think one of the factors is, for like someone like me, I don't really have local experience. So that is one. And it's just competitive. So yeah, as I mentioned, as long as you are a permanent resident, you will still have the edge over the others. So I really hope that I was able to share some insight and maybe let you think whether how you're going to position yourself, whether if you're looking a job as an IT professional here in Australia. Okay, so the next topic we're going to go through is how did I get my job here in Australia? So I'll be sharing like a couple of things that I did, and I really hope that if you're starting to find jobs here and like probably you've just relocated, I hope that based on my experience it'll be able to help you. So first thing is, most employers will ask whether you are here in Australia. Okay, as mentioned earlier, I tried applying for roles even if I was offshore, like I was still in Singapore. I've been sending applications here. I was able to book a few interviews, but once they found out that I haven't relocated yet and that I need 2 months notice period, so just thinking of that is a lot of time needed, and like the logistics of relocating me will be a lot of waiting time for them. So I've lost that opportunity. So there are a few that are able to find a job just before they land here. So I think if you are already have a planned date on like when you're arriving, I think that would be very helpful, at least for the employers to decide whether they can wait for you or at least when they're expecting you. Because for my case that time, I didn't really have a date when I'm going to move. So basically I was really planning to just resign once I get the opportunity here. However, it's a lot of things that I needed to settle, like let's say the 2 months notice period plus relocating here. And for sure, once you move here, there's a lot of moving parts, like finding a place to stay and settling down. It's just a lot of logistics happening. So I understand them that they prefer someone that's already onshore. Okay, so if you're still offshore, maybe would be good if you can start applying. If you already have a date, like just start applying and see if the employer will wait for you. Okay, so another is being onshore as well is you're able to have a residential address and mobile number. So some of the job openings I saw is that when I was still in Singapore, even if I really want that role, I couldn't apply just because that I cannot provide a mobile number and I cannot provide a residential address here because, well, basically their form is only allowing mobile numbers here and like addresses from here. So if you're really from Singapore or somewhere else, you're still offshore, you basically cannot apply for that. So that was one. So if you're brave enough to just jump here and then find your job here, that would be also helpful. But if you have already, as mentioned, if you already have like a date, it would be helpful as well if you can just start before you come here. The next thing that I did is I make sure that I read the job description and pay attention on the details of the job listing. So I noticed that they have special instructions on their job posting, so really pay attention in these. Well, some companies, they do have like a standard job listing, but there are those that are really having special instructions on like how to apply, or like what should be the format, or like what they're expecting from you, or like how you're going to write your cover letter, or they'll be asking you a few questions and would be a good time for you to do it in your cover letter. So very important to really go through the job description and make sure that you've got all the instructions covered, because basically it's part of the hiring process, like whether you're really paying attention to what you're applying. Okay, So yeah, that is one. Another thing that I did was customizing my cover letters. So as mentioned, some of the job openings, they would have special instructions, or like they have a few questions that they would love to hear from you. And the best part to the best way for you to respond to that is through the cover letter. Every time that I apply for these openings, I really make sure that I make the cover letters as exactly as like we are talking, like I'm already talking with a recruiter. So just based on the job description, and then I'm already like answering the things that they are asking me from through the cover letter. And also it's also a chance for you to really showcase show them how interested are you for the job. So they really love to hear it, like whenever you are really interested with the role. So you know, like when you're applying, when you're looking for a job, it's like a full-time job as well. So it's not easy, but don't be discouraged, just keep trying. And these are just like some of the tips that I can share, and I really hope I can help. So next one, showcase your transferable skills that matches the role. But even if you don't really tick all the skills that they require, and you still feel like you'll be effective on the role, please still try to apply, especially if you're really keen with the role. So for me, I've been applying for roles that not really like 100% of the things that I was working before, because my reason is there's really nothing left for me to grow if I am still doing the same thing that I was doing in the past. So whenever I see something like I'm only taking like a few of the skills, and then there are those that I don't really have experience with, I still apply, because for me, that's how you show that you're willing to learn, and they love it. They love it when you are enthusiastic in learning, and like whether like you're very keen with the company. So they really love it if you are very interested with them. Okay, so which goes to the next advice that I can give you, which is, I'm going to steal this. This is actually from my partner. He gave this advice to me. He's been living here for years, so this was his advice to me, which is, I'm going to share to you, which is, be interested, not interesting. Okay, so as I mentioned earlier, apart from the skills that you can showcase, it would be good if you can also show them that you are really interested with all the skills. Even if you don't really know them, you're interested with it. In the job interview, ask as many questions as you want. So especially when you're really keen with the role, you know, like when you're interested with the job, questions are just flowing. So don't be shy, just ask them away. They would love to know that you have questions. This is just this is something I wanted to share, that when you are interviewing, it's a red flag if you don't really have questions. So try to ask as many questions as you can, because this actually shows that you're really enthusiastic and that you're really keen to be part of the team. They would love that. Another thing is, most of the companies, they will ask you, what are the things that you do outside of your job? Let's say, who are you outside your 9-to-5 job? So this is really interesting. Not a lot of companies ask this question, but what I noticed here, with a couple of interviews that I went through, this is always being asked, like, what are your passions? What are your interests? What are you outside of your 9 to 5 job? So of course, it would be great if you're passionate of your job, like you love coding too. It's another thing. So of course, yeah, they love to hear that. Another is I noticed that they love hearing, like for me, I've shared that, oh, I train a lot. I usually spend a lot of time in the gym. So I do training, so they really love that. So this is also like, it becomes your identity. So when you're applying for these companies, they will remember your hobby. They might not be able to remember your skills, your name, but they will remember your hobby. Like let's say you told them that you love baking. So they will remember you, like, oh, who is that girl who loved baking and we like her? So you can say that. It really helps. It somehow gives you the identity. So another thing is confidence and communication skills. So it's really, really important here. They really like someone that is able to articulate their thoughts. So let's say in a team setting, they love someone that can collaborate and is like open-minded and you can exchange ideas with. And you're not just someone who could just stay in the corner and just do your own stuff. They love someone that is, you know, like, that's the reason they have these culture fit interviews. So they will really decide whether you're culturally fit for the team. And a good way to show this is your confidence and good communication skills. So yeah, I really hope that I'm able to answer your questions. Do comment down below if you have any more questions, and let me know what your specialty in the IT industry is. So if you guys have seen my video before, I'm actually a developer, so I'd love to hear what your profession is as well. If you're still looking at how you are able to do a do-it-yourself permanent residency in Australia, I'm going to pop it in the description below as well, or you can click on the link on this video as well. If you're looking for another DIY of your ACS skills assessment, I would also put it in the description down below, and do check out from there. Okay, so if you have any more questions, just do let me know in the comments down below. I'd love to hear them. So that would be all. I really hope that my information shared would be helpful for you. So if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you again. Bye bye. Thank you.